5 months living full-time in this little tiny thing. Is that possible? Today, let's take a tour of Lily, my 2019 Winnebago Travato GL, as I live full-time from a 21-foot camper van. I'm going to show you all the ins, outs, and give you 5 tips to live in a happier RV lifestyle, whether you're full-time or part-time. Let's go. So before we go inside, I thought I would just give a quick tour of the exterior of my 2019 Winnebago Travato GL, L for lithium. So the van is 21 feet long, 7 feet wide, and 10 feet tall overall. Clearly I've got the silver paint color in deluxe, which means it's got the black middle half painted black, and the bumpers are all painted black. What's nice about the Winnebago, for me at least, is most of the hookups are on this side. They're at a comfortable height. This is propane, so this is a tank fill, city fill. This is extra solar, never have used that. This is where I plug in, and that's the Truma exhaust. Down here is propane, as I mentioned. This is where the RV sewer hose stays. I use that all the time. The hose is not long enough to have it connected all the time, and the tanks, the way the configuration is, it's not a run through the waste system, meaning they have to go into the tanks and then empty the tanks with the valve. You can't leave the valves open because they're not designed to do that. So that's where the sewer is. I have the awning style windows, which are these bad boys right here. Love, love, love these. These are made by Dometic. They are double pane, if you guys can see that. Really great insulation compared to single pane. And what I love is just the ability to have this huge amount of open space. One in the front dinette area, one in the bedroom, and there's 2 on the other side. I'll show you that. This is a dump light. This is where the sewer black, gray go. There's the macerator switch. So at night, if you need a dump, there's a light that turns on to give you some illumination to what you're doing. On the back here, clearly I've got the bike rack. It holds 2 bikes up to 100 pounds. I'm at about 60, well, a little less than 60 with these 2 bikes. I've got the ladder that gives you access to the rooftop. The cool thing about the ladder is you unscrew it from right here, and it literally lifts off the rack, and then you put it on this side, and that gives you the ability to get up onto the roof and clean, check panels, maybe store something up there. But that's what that's about. It's got a backup camera, which is really nice. Coming around this side, you've got power, so 110, never have used those. This is more solar and a DC thing here, never have used those. More solar, never have used those. This is the Santee flush. This is, you hook up a hose to this and it washes out your black tank. I have used this. Running board, really cool. Those illuminate. This has a awning that comes out. This is a carefree awning. Speakers, another light to be doing some work out here. And I do use speakers. Those are pretty cool. Here's another awning style window from Dometic. This is in the galley. Just love the ability to be working in the galley and see out and have fresh air. And then one final window here. Hopefully that gives you a little insight to the exterior of the vehicle. Let's go inside. So welcome to Lily. This is the interior of the 2019 Winnebago Travato. Again, I've been full-time for 5 months now, part-time for 5 prior to that. So let's step inside and let me show you some of the cool things in here. So this is the grab handle. Love the running board. I have a little rug I put right here. I got this rug at Walmart. I cut about 3 inches off this side, and it fits in here just perfect, like that. This is kind of a cool, I'll block that. Kind of a cool feature here is a screen. That's really nice. Goes all the way across the doorway here. So when I'm parked for any extended amount of time, and that would be more than like an overnight. Once I park, I spin the cab chairs around. It really opens up the cab feel, and I've got these are an option, the leather cab seats. I'm very glad I did those. It pulls in the color scheme, and again, this makes the cab feel like it's living space, not driving space. They turn around very, very easily. So up here, what I've got, this is above the cab, obviously. I've got my yoga mat. I've got a seat cushion that makes, so this dinette area here is what's affectionately called a puzzle bed. So it takes a couple extra cushions. Here's one of those right here. This is my back window shade blockouts, and these are my side cab window blockouts. There's one for each that go into the side windows. This is a tripod, and this is just an extra blanket. So this space is full of useful stuff. I really like having the over the cab area. Things I don't touch often, but often enough that I do need to have them with me. So give you a heads up on this. I have a 60-day rule. If I haven't used or touched an item in 60 days, I probably don't need it, in which case it goes out of Lily. So that's the above cab. So let's take a look at over here. This is the Jensen stereo that comes with the Travato. Up here in this little cubby, I've got hard drives for YouTube videos. It's kind of interesting. This is a 1 terabyte, this is a 2 terabyte, and each of these are 4. So lots of video storage. I have an Apple TV. Now I have a WineGuard system on top, and I've created a network with the WineGuard, and the Apple TV connects to that. This is my internet source in most cases, which it is actually active right now. So this is a Verizon hotspot, unlimited data plan, and it has been a godsend. Get yourself one of those. Clearly this is a TV. Let's turn this on so you can see this working. For at least a screensaver. Let me show you behind this what I have here. This has a pretty firm snap, so there's no chance of that thing swinging open. In here I've got a few books, a couple videos, and some goofy stuff. This cable here is HDMI for the Apple TV, and we'll close that. And you can see that I have Apple TV running, which is awesome. So let's take a look at these gauges. So this is tank warmer. This is just the power control system, lets you see what in the heck's going on. Currently I have 30 amp service involved here, you can see that. This is the propane on off. We'll actually turn that off right now. This is the Truma control. So this is heat, hot water. This is the energy mode, whether it's propane or electric or both. And then this is fan speed, which is very cool. Very lucky to have Truma. It is a standard on the Travato line, and it makes not only heat but hot water. Hot water really hot, and takes about 2.5 gallons, takes about 10 minutes, pretty amazing. And then this is the tank levels. I'm heading out here today, so I need to empty my tank here clearly. I've installed a thermometer so I can kind of get a sense of the temperature and relative humidity. Pretty humid today. And then this is the WineGuard on-off switch. That's what that is. I had that installed, and then this is the temperature thermostat for. So overall, this is just really, really lovely space. And what I love about this dinette, not only is it a permanent table, so I can leave my work stuff up. I don't have to collapse the bed to make a table or vice versa. It's always up and ready. There's really 3 or 4 different seating positions. So currently I'm sitting in the jump seat, which is right next to the door here, as you can see. So this is kind of the vantage point from this seating position. If I move to the cab seat, this is actually a viewer recommendation. Let's move over here. You can see that the seating position changes dramatically and has a whole different feel. And this is again a really comfortable seat, and I sit here with my iPad or my laptop, do work. It just gives a really nice vantage point and different sense of the rig. So let's sit here. Now from this vantage point, you can see that the feeling is quite different again. And that's what I love about the Travato. Not only is it a permanent table, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different seating positions. And if I want to have company over, and I've done this several times now, is we have 1, 2, even 3 places that other people can sit. Now wait, there's a little bit more here. to the story, and that's the table extension that swings out from underneath. And so you can see that now this becomes a workspace, and if I'm having folks over for dinner, this person can actually eat from this person moves over here, this person sits here. So you can get 3 or 4 or 5 people around this table for dinner, which is pretty incredible for a small Class B camper van. So my hat's off to Winnebago for really thinking this through. It's really been just so amazing. But wait, there's one more thing. It actually collapses into a bed. That's right. And the way that works is this table leg folds. You move this cushion out of the way, this table leg folds down, and so it folds flat to down here. You have to spin the cab seats around, obviously. You collapse the table, and then you move these cushions around, and the extra cushion on the above cab, as you saw, actually fits right here. There's a rail here, and that seat sits right here. And while I wouldn't really recommend it for daily sleep, because it's not a hassle to put together, but it's more hassle than a daily sleep. But if you're bring a kid, a grandkid, or if you want to have like Netflix marathons, watch TV, and just kind of hang out in your living room, that's a really awesome option to have that second bed, which again is pretty extraordinary for a Class B camper van of 21 feet in length. So that's the front cab. Couple of lights. These are overhead lights controlled by switch right there. These are lights controlled by individual switches. These are speakers for the Jensen system, which is right here. And this light strip here is again controlled by a light switch in back. A couple things I've added is a fan. This is a USB fan. Here's a USB port right here, so that powers. One really kind of cool thing is if I'm in 12 volt mode, if I'm in 12 volt mode, which means I'm not using the inverter to power 110 appliances, this will actually charge my iPhone and the iPad. And probably the laptop if you had enough time. It's kind of a trickle charge, and it charges the Verizon hotspot from this outlet. So it has 2 ports. Again, the good thing there is with 12 volt, I can charge devices without using 110 if I need to conserve my lithium battery. Added a little plant thing here, which is kind of cute. Command hook. This used to be a hat holder. So that's the cab. Wonder what questions you have. Oh, let me show this. I just did a video on this. So this is the King TV antenna. It sits on the roof. I've never used it for TV, but I use it a lot for mood lighting. It's not going to be able to see it in daytime. But see this LED here? If you spin this around there, it got some more signal. So it's kind of a signal strength indicator. But the LEDs are really bright, and what it does is project blue light onto the table here. Check out my video on RV mood lighting, because this is an instrumental part to setting a mood in the cab without having the bright lights on. So that kind of wraps up the cab. Let's move to the galley. All right, spinning around to the galley, a couple things to point out. I have a closet, microwave, fridge, freezer, sink, stove, cabinetry. This is my hat holder, and this is actually the Pier 3 lithium system. I've been unplugged for a few days now, even though I'm in an RV park. I didn't bother plugging in because I have about an hour and a half drive today, so I know I'm going to be able to charge that up, no problemo. I just love rolling into an RV park and everybody spends 10, 15, 20 minutes hooking up. I spend 10 minutes making a cocktail because I got no hookup. It's pretty cool. Key ring, hat hook, coat hook. You just gotta love command strip hooks. They're the greatest thing. Let's put this back up here. You're probably wondering what these are. These are tracking my channel business growth. So love that. This is kind of cool. This is a table extension. This slips up like that and extends the cabinet or the countertop all the way. That's a great feature. And what's really cool is if I'm seated here, this becomes extra space for a drink, cocktail, something like that, which is pretty cool, right? And so this is my cabinet above the sink. So I started out with glass dishes. I quickly learned they're kind of a hassle to deal with because you got to wash them. And one thing about the Travato, it has pretty limited capacity. It's 18 gallons of fresh water, 12 gray, 11 black. So not very big tanks. I didn't want to waste precious resources by washing dishes. So what I've done, my best practice is to use paper plates, very compostable. I do reuse the plastic cups, largely used for cocktails. A recurring theme here. I've got a little wire rack here to extend some of this. I really have been living pretty frugally in terms of food. It's just I haven't had a lot of need for it. So here's my hot water pot. I make coffee with this, vitamins, and then this is a instant coffee, really good quality. Just fits there. Stove, two burner stove, and this is the marine style sink, which you probably know that this goes like that. Cold filtered water, and this is warm, hot, regular water. Charging some camera batteries. Paper towel holder. So everything needs to kind of have a spot. So this is kind of my pens, tape, cards, books, a little bit of scenery here. My plant, I've got this, it's held down with the mounting putty tape, which works really well. It's really secure. Here's that window again. Plant. Have you been to the National Corvette Museum? Golly, if you're a Corvette fan, you need to go. It's pretty moving. It's amazing how much that brand, that icon, is a part of Americana. It was, and the space program in particular was a big part of that. So go see that. So looking down here, so here's the light switches: bathroom, back, and this is right above. So that's what those are. Here's switches here. This is for the the track lighting thing. This is for the overhead, and this is for the dump station light, or the side light out front. Outlet here, don't use it because the cord sticks out like this and it's just a snag hazard, so I'm wishing that was kind of up here or something. GFCI, and it's a GFCI for this one. I use this one all the time. Let's take a look at this. So junk drawer, plasticware. So what I'm doing here, because I really don't like throwing plastic away, a few seconds of convenience for thousands of years of decomposing. These are actually cornstarch based products. I got these off of Amazon, and they're fairly expensive but worth it, and are really strong. Really happy with these. In here I've got my one fry pan, if you will, and then cooking utensils and knives. And down here I've got protein bars, thank you Costco. And if we look under here, this is kind of a collection. This is my Instant Pot lid, some backup paper plates, cleaner, spray oil for non-stick, and then protein powder for protein shakes. This is the water filter. Now I've changed that out. I'm doing a video about that. The one that comes with the Winnebago is just kind of for taste, and I've actually put in a serious water filter cartridge that now is actually doing a better job at getting cleaner water out. So this cabinet's pretty large, not really well organized. I use these bins from the Dollar Tree store to store things in. If you don't, be sure to get some of those. They fit perfectly in a lot of Travato crevices. What do you guys think so far? Crazy, right? Okay, microwave, clearly. I'm so impressed with the size of this fridge. This is a half gallon of half and half that sits in the door. Just loving this. So there's extra water storage, so I'll show you. I store a little bit more water in the back, but this holds about 1.5 gallons, I think. So cold water, extra water storage. Freezer's down here. Wait till you see the size of this thing. So I've got ice. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Ham. This is Costco size patties. And then I got frozen veggies in here, frozen fruit. So this freezer is just humongous. And what I typically do is thaw a few things, grill them up, and then use those for the week. This is a storage space for a garbage can. Perfect size, because when I'm opening the cabinet door, it clears the door, or the top of the can perfectly, which is amazing. So in here I've got a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got cold weather gear here, coat. I'm using the cord for the microwave as a bit of a dual use here to hold my winter coat. There's my bling bling, big tall map. Shirts, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hangers. And I've got 2 shirts on each hanger. So that's a lot of clothes. By weight, I've got a big monitor as well. I got a 24-inch monitor tucked in here, so if and when I need it, I can do that. Belt, clearly. So love the cabinet. It works out really well. So vertical spaces are where I decorate, which is kind of neat. Bin, rack bin here. So I've got soap. This is olive oil, salt, pepper grinders, and then honey. So that's the galley. What questions do you have about this? Is there anything missing? What features does your RV have? Would you like it to have? Kind of based on this galley experience. Again, 5 months full time now. I find this is more than adequate for cooking, storing, preparing meals. It's really, really a great galley. So let's move into the bathroom. So this is the Class B RV bathroom, and yes, it has an actual shower, highly functional. Use it this morning. It has a sink, stainless steel sink, a second sink. So even though they're just literally inches apart, I use this sink all of the time. Washing hands, if you're needing a sink, it's there instantly versus having to pull up the lid, fold out the faucet, etc. So sink is great. This has TP holders and a falling bottle of shampoo. This stuff is great, by the way. Found this in Madison at the farmer's market. I am in love with this stuff. Need to go to their website and get a bottle of that. So 2 TP holders, one here, one here. They each hold 2 rolls, which is nice. Grating, this is really nice. Much better than standing on plastic to shower. So again, I just showered in here this morning, and what I've done is modified this slightly to eliminate a filter that plugs up all too easy. So this is the drain that comes with. I put some cheesecloths over the top to catch as a primary filter, or first filter, and then this is just something I picked up at Walmart to hold that down. That works out really well, and then this goes on top. So that system works great. It's got a traditional RV toilet, which is the pedal system. Let me kind of demo that for you. Probably seen this. That's how that works. Sprayer. Medicine chest. This is really great. So again, here's the dollar store bins coming in handy. So tons of storage in here. This is kind of the daily bin, and the other one is kind of storage. But you can see how much room is in here. It's just insane. Close that back up. Light, fan, gets the fumes and steam out. My shower towel hangs here. This is a shower drain switch. Again, because of the configuration of the tanks, it's not gravity feed. The shower head works really well, and what really attracted me to this floor plan Travato specifically was the bathroom and the bed and the dinette, all full time. Huge. Ladies and gentlemen, go measure the size of your Class B RV bathrooms, and you're going to see this thing is twice or more bigger than what you typically find. And even when showering, I got to tell you, it is big enough to be doing all your business in here. You kind of stand sideways, but I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun to shower. And the other nice benefit is, when I'm done showering, I use this to kind of hose down the whole bathroom so it stays really clean all the time. Love this bathroom. What questions do you have about the bathroom? Put those down below. What comments? What does your rig have or don't have? Composting, not interested. Pooping in a bucket, not interested. So this commode is working really nice. So let's turn our attention to the bedroom. So welcome to the bedroom. Currently it's a hallway, and we'll talk about this right now. So what I have is my gym bag that transports towels and stuff to the gym to go shower and work out. This is my grill, my Charborough grill. Here's some extra Diet Mountain Dew, and then back here I have 3 gallons of water, and I would recommend this if you're a Travato owner, is do something similar. So these are the square style jugs. They each hold a gallon, and so they fit right here between, there's about 6 inches between the grill and the door. So I have 3 extra gallons of water, and what I do is I use that for extra drinking water first, and what's in the fridge before I'm using tap water. I'm using the tap water when I'm in a resource conservation mode for shower if I need it, toilet for sure, and hand washing. So this is extra drinking water storage, and again 3 gallons plus what's in the fridge. That gives me 4 extra gallons. That really extends the viability of boondocking. And then the pop just sits on top, which is great, or if you got cerveza, and then it just sits on top. So the nice thing about this is while I'm able to carry a little bit of extra storage, I do have full access to the back, and it doesn't feel like it's cluttered up, which is really, really nice. Got little personal decorations here, got a poster. These are kind of cool. These are lights. That's a night light, mood lighting, and then this is a reading light, way too bright. And what I do with this is during the day, I leave this on, and there's just enough illumination from this to kind of light up the poster and this back area. Let me show you that. So see how that kind of stays illuminated, so it doesn't feel like there's this, you know, big dark spot in the back of the van. It's illuminated, and at night in particular, this really works really well. So out the back window, you can see the ladder, the bikes, my camp spot. That's kind of a view out the back window. I've added a thermometer here so I can see what's going on. So back here it's 73 degrees, 25% humidity. So this is a Murphy style bed. The Travato comes with this mesh sack that goes on the back of the underneath of the bedding board, and I've taken it off because it was clutter and it was containing clothes I hadn't used in 5 months. So I like this look a lot. It reduced the weight of lifting the bed and it reduced the clutter back here, which I think it looks much, much better. Again, I tested it. I hadn't used any of those clothes for 5 months, and again, my 60-day rule, if I haven't used it in 60 days, out it goes. So I'm really liking this better. So you might see other Travatos that have a bag hanging on here. Mine did. I saved the bag, but it's in a cubicle underneath now. So let's look at these cabinets quick. So this is kind of cool. So I use this for produce storage. This is the remote for the fan, and it just also clears the cabinet here just barely, which is great. So this is the first of 2 closets above the bed, cabinets. So this is my Instant Pot, a little bit of a bar situation. This is some great made in Wisconsin whiskey. Oh my God. So I've got shorts here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a couple pairs in the washer. These are shirts, and I just thinned this out. I sent home 16 pounds of clothes to home base because I had too many. So this combination undies and t-shirts and some saki-wakis. I'm wearing flip-flops most of the time these days, so anything more than that's not necessary. Jeans, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pair of jeans. This is a leather coat. I got 2 sweatshirts. This is active pants. And this space is kind of where the dirty clothes go. I put them in a bag. So you can see I've got tremendous amounts of room in here and more than adequate clothing. If I got rid of the Instant Pot and or the booze, I would essentially have a whole empty cabinet. So that's after 5 months of full time. This is great. These just snap shut. All of the cabinets in the Travato are positive locking. So let's look down here, then we'll show you the bed. So what I have in here is just some electronics, again using the dollar store bins, some office supplies stuff. This is about half empty. On this side, I just have stuff randomly thrown in there. In here is kind of my pantry storage. So I've got extra TP. I got some extra coffee. So, but this too is largely empty. On this side, I've got shoes, which I need to get rid of a couple. So I got a huge pair of hiking boots back there, flip-flops. So I've got 4, let's see, 1, 2, I got 3 pair of shoes plus flip-flops in here. So again, extra room in there as well. My recycling. This is tool kit, and this is the flat tire kit. This is the, if you can see that, that's the wheel well actually. And then back here on this side, I have kind of miscellaneous stuff, tire treads and blocks to raise the Travato, collapsible buckets, some blankets I've yet to use, but someday will. extension cords in here. So again, lots and lots of storage. Most of these are about 2/3 full. Got room to put more stuff in, but I'm just down to the stuff. You know, if I'm not using stuff, why have it? It just clutters my brain and my Travato. So let's put the bed down so you get a sense of this. So it's a full-size bed. One little snap. Uh-oh, my watch is gonna fall. Move that over here. So this lays down just like this. Kind of flatten out the mattress, and another window, which is awesome. It's a full-size bed. I sleep pretty simply, so a single pillow, and my sheet cover right here. It's got a storage pocket for like your iPad, a book, etc. An outlet above, and I've turned another USB powered fan. This is my watch charger. There's a USB outlet right here that power those, which is really great. It's so amazing this bed space. Once the bed goes down and it's time for bed, it's dark enough back here, certainly if you're closing the window like that, that it feels like you're in a bedroom. It doesn't feel like you're exposed to the world. It's dark, it's cozy, and just a great place to bed down for the night. Just love this feature of the Travato 59G floor plan, is this Murphy bed that I put down when it's time for bed, and then when it's time to get up, I put it up. All right, so that's the bedroom. So that just about covers the entire rig. Let me show you up here quick. Well, clearly we got air conditioning. This is a Coleman Mach 3, I think it is. I don't use this a lot because I haven't really been in hot climates. That's the whole purpose of this, is to drive where the temperature is mild, so you don't have to use this thing. Glad it's here. It's really noisy. Off the lithium system, I tested it gets about 9 hours off a single charge at about 50% cycle rate. So love having it here, but don't use it a lot. Thankfully, I guess. This is the Max Air fan, so it sucks and exhausts out only. And by using the windows, I find that the breeze that it creates is sufficient for cooling the rig in most cases. And in particular at night, what I do is I use the window here to create a draft, so there's a gentle breeze to cool the back bedroom. So love this, use this all the time. Fire smoke detector. Let's step outside. I'll show you the back and how that works. There's a couple things back there to point out. All right, one great thing about the bike rack is I can actually leave the bikes racked and still get access to the door. So we got here is a full-size broom. It just tucks right there in the corner. In here in this cabinet, I have electrical. I got black water flush. That's why it's indicated with the black tape here. Fresh water, sewer hose. This is a water filter, extra water filter down here, and this is my surge protector. Here's a water pump on/off in case it's been off inside. You can turn it on right here. This is for the light, around the side, and then this is for the light right above here, which is nice. Make sure that's off. Yep. And this is really cool. This is cold and hot water. You use this to like hose off your bikes, your dogs, maybe your spouse if they're a little overheated. So that works well. I just love this setup. It's so smart. And that goes here. And just to show you the back, whoa, there goes the broom. All right. And to show you back here, so again, this is the grill, the gym bag. Here's the water. You can see how I've utilized these, extra 6 inches here to store the water. So I won't open this because the water will fall out. All right, we'll close the doors. So that kind of does it. That kind of rounds out van life, 5 months full time now. What I've learned is, number one, brought too much stuff, reduce your stuff. Number two, relax. This is my number one thing I'm trying to work on, is relaxing. I don't stress out. Number three, is to just kind of go with the flow. I don't have RV park reservations all the time, so I do a combination of RV parks like this KOA. I stay at one about every 5th day, and the other days in between I'm staying at Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host, street camping, maybe a Walmart parking lot. And my thing is just to kind of keep moving. The fourth thing is just to conserve your resources. Be really sensitive on what you're using water-wise. Manage your inverter carefully. When I'm working in like a coffee shop, I plug in and charge up everything. That just extends the range of the rig. And the fifth thing is just to really take it all in. You know, even the spin around here, this is a much better view, right? Is just to really take it all in. Be part of the adventure. For me, the part of the adventure is really just taking in all of the sensory input, the taste, the sounds, the smells. And what's great is once you get home, this being to your tiny home, once you close this door, you're in your own little cocoon, and all of that extra sensory perception, close, all that extra sensory input goes away, and now in your cozy little space again. So those would be the 5 kind of recommendations that I would have for you. Hopefully you got something out of this. I just always enjoy giving tours of Lily. The channel growth is going crazy. The journey is still pretty young, but I just couldn't be more pleased. And I really thank each and every one of you guys and gals out there. It seems like I'm helping a number of you, which really makes me feel great. It's the whole purpose of doing this. And just love learning, sharing, and just having a community around this whole thing, van life. So please share, like, comment. Let's keep the dialogue going. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Until we meet again, I wish you to journey on. What I've learned is, number 1, brought too much stuff, reduce your stuff. Number 2, relax. This is my number 1 thing I'm trying to work on, is relaxing. I don't stress out. Number 3 is to just kind of go with the flow. I don't have RV park reservations all the time, so I do a combination of RV parks like this KOA. I stay at one about every 5th day, and the other days in between I'm staying at Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host, street camping, maybe a Walmart parking lot. And my thing is just to kind of keep moving. The fourth thing is just to conserve your resources. Be really sensitive on what you're using water-wise. Manage your inverter carefully. When I'm working in like a coffee shop, I plug in and charge up everything. That just extends the range of the rig. And the fifth thing is just to really take it all in. You know, even the spin around here, this is a much better view, right? Is just to really take it all in. Be part of the adventure. For me, the part of the adventure is really just taking in all of the sensory input, the taste, the sounds, the smells.